had I presume the one person in this lobby, or in this game, is an observer. Otherwise, I'll start doing some observing, but I'm going to presume they're doing some obsing. They might just be a little slow at the start, because, again, if this was offline, they were probably waiting for the caster intros and everything, and all of that kind of stuff. We'll get the vibe for it as the day goes on a little bit, though. We'll figure out what we're thinking. Yeah, it looks like they've got a proper observer, which is great. That means that we don't have to worry too much about that, and we can just focus on casting some fun games, especially if we've got a bunch of best sevens. You know, my observing's not going to hold up that long. So, yeah, and what a way to start. Look at herO go. He's just going to throw down the forge. Of course he is. Because who doesn't start a best of 7? You know, you fly all the way to Paris from Korea for a best of 7 against Serel in the lower bracket, and you start it with a cannon rush. I love it. This is not a short trip to make, and it's a one-day cup, and it's lower bracket for these guys, so it's a one-series event for, you know, one of these two players. And I kind of like it, as this is also a very laid-back cannon rush, right? Like, he's going to build this quite far away. So when Serral's Overlord comes about, he only just spots this now. And that means that he's a little late to see. The cannon will go up, and more importantly, the gateway is going to come online as well. So herO is going to be able to successfully get this online. I mean, we start to build a forward cannon now, and the drones can pull toward that. The cannon not up to play defense just yet, but it will be soon. So soon enough, that will be a little bit more of a problem. Let's just see the cannon about to finish. Cannon's building similarly on the way. Gateway being built as well. But yeah, I mean, the main thing is going to be what comes out of this gate and what we can get done in terms of this pressure. As herO is going to have the setup he's looking for at the very least. Can he execute from here? Have I already seen the games? No. No. I haven't seen anything from this tournament. I literally went on TL to see if it was still going on after a few hours, and all I saw was that the streams were still live. So I've got absolutely no idea what happens in this tournament. So yeah, for me, this is a fresh watch, which is also why I want to cast it today, because instead of having to watch VODs, I can just watch and cast. You know, I can just watch it while casting. You know, it's like win-win on my side. So yeah, I get to watch the games. I get to see what happens. I get to make some content for YouTubes and stuff as well. Watch today. It's a good middle ground. Once you have this queen is about to pop out, it's going to take a couple of shots. The Zealot and the Probe still swinging their way through this hatchery. Queen's going to be there. The Zealot gets pushed back. Have a couple of probes coming back through as well. As the Roach production has begun. The Stargate is on the way. Extra Roaches in production as well. A couple of those Broodlings are going to step forward, and they are going to go and jump themselves onto the cannon there. So cannon's taking a bit of damage. Wolfgate coming through. We've got a Stargate in production, as mentioned, I think. And yeah, we successfully kill off the natural. Is that the plan from herO? Like, is that it? We kill the natural. We deny a creep tumor. That's nice. Slows down Koreans. Comes to the low ground a teeny tiny bit. Forces 25 more energy up on the high ground rather than down on the low ground. I mean, these Ravagers will morph. They will be able to break through the cannons, and Serel will free himself. I think that's where the Stargate comes into play. I think this is a game where you absolutely just want to build Oracle after Oracle after Oracle as herO. Because this is not a game where you're going to have a lot of anti-air production. You know, you're going to be limited to Corrosive Vials and the few Queens that you can only build off of one hatchery right now. So I can't imagine this is anything but Oracles. The only downside to Oracles is you don't have a lot of places to strike with the Oracles. So yeah, I started to unconvince myself a little bit because I was like, well, actually, if he makes an Oracle, where's he going to go with it? So he goes Void Ray. And that's a lot less about being aggressive and obviously poking around for harassment, because where is he going to do that? The Void Ray is also going to keep him safe, where the Oracles are going to struggle for energy unless you could, you know, if you could instantly get like 3 or 4 Oracles here, great. Probably do that. But knowing that Serel has these units on the map and can move out, the Void Ray does make a lot more sense. So I will talk myself out of the Oracle call, and yeah, the Void Ray does make a lot of sense. Let's see if he makes an Oracle behind it. He does. I think it's very much so just this Void Ray provides immediate defense now. Also pushes back the nearby Overlords, which is a problem for Serel. He's playing a weak game where he does not have a lot of production. He does not have a lot of lava. So forcing another Overlord out, you know, that's one lava out of the inject that pops up next time around. You know, these are things that add up and are way more significant in this game than they would be in a much more typical and standard opening. So I think that's one of the big things we're kind of really looking at here and thinking on. As we do see the Oracle already heading across to the upper left-hand side. So a little bit of a push to the top. Laren the Lings coming through, the Oracle and the +1 attack upgrade coming in as well. And that Oracle ready to strike into the upper left-hand side of the map. So Oracle looking to get going. Couple gates coming through, +1 attack on the way. Well, is about to finish. Just gonna see that Ravager morphing through. Little Oracle just playing cleanup, so that doesn't go anywhere. Now you do have the Oracles on the other side, yeah. He's doing exactly what I thought, or what I wanted him to do in terms of just, like, at the very least 3 Oracles. And it just was a case of he just wanted to make sure he wasn't in danger from Roach's countering initially. There's a Nidus. Yeah, in that case, you want to keep building Oracles as well, I think, because Oracles are the sort of unit that will just overwhelm in this game. If you just take down the Queens, these Oracles are going to have a good time. So I honestly wouldn't mind to see a 4th Oracle starting. Obviously, that does depend. I mean, he's going to get the Scout as well, right? Wait, where's the Nidus building? In the natural? Oh, he already saw it, so yeah, he already knows. He's not really doing anything to react to the fact that he knows, though. Don't see any building batteries or anything. He does warp in 2 Stalkers. Stargate still inactive. I mean... I feel like he just didn't click on the Nidus. Because there's no reason for these Oracles to be setting up an aggressively placed Stasis Sword as though units are walking across the map. Yeah, I've got no idea what that... And now he starts a battery. I've got no... I think he just genuinely didn't click on the Nidus network. Like, he had the Scout on it, but he just didn't realize what it was. Perhaps? As the Oracles dive in, the Queens are off creep. We will very nearly lose 1 Oracle, but 1 Queen goes down. Oracle's going to regen a little bit here. Anything we do to buy time is nice. We get a Ravager. It's obviously a huge pickoff as well. Any less corrosive vials hitting is going to be a big deal. First vials do hit, double whammy on the batteries, but the batteries will come online still, and they will do some healing already. Wouldn't mind the Oracles taking a step over there and getting some healing too. Obviously, with another Nidus up here, we now have creep spread for the Queens to transfuse each other. It makes it more difficult for the Oracles to remove them from the game and to overwhelm. Ravagers is very much so still stats solid. Queens are going to be there poking. Stalker's taking damage too. A couple more corrosive vials. And again, batteries taking a bit of a beatdown at the moment. The Void Ray wants to step forward once again. Roaches and Ravagers and Queens still trying to push into this. Couple corrosive vials landing. It kind of clips onto the Void Ray. The Void Ray very low. Batteries out of energy for the most part here. And units are starting to go down. But have we just done enough? We start to press forward. I mean, this is 4 Queens and 2 Ravagers. There's a Spore Crawler or 2 here as well, and more than anything else, I think they are the things which are going to stop the air units from being effective. But at this point, we're about to have Blink, and herO is just going to be okay. What a weird game. What a weird game. I really wonder. I wonder what herO would have done if he genuinely knew it was a Nidus sooner. Because like this was a fine defense anyway. Did it get a little scary? A little bit. Is it scary now? Absolutely not. Not with Blink completed. GG even coming in from Serel right now. What a weird game. herO seeing it but not seeing it. Right now, as this is best of 7, of course, lower bracket elimination match from Maestros of the game. Shout out to the Maestros guys who just sent me over the replay pack yesterday as well, so we could get right on to casting these games today too, and sink our teeth into them. Obviously, I was away while this was played live, otherwise we would have just done a live show of it. We would have had the cameras of the players and everything, but like I say, rather catch up on the replays than anything else. For me, this is, you know, still a fresh watch, so it's always a nice little bonus. Let's jump into game number 2. I'll just throw us onto the official observer, guys. Obviously, I'll be a little bit slow going on the intros. It seems like they're, you know, doing big long intros for the offline section and getting the crowd hyped up, I imagine. Obviously, we don't need all that time, but if you're just wondering why we're sat on bases for the first minute or two, that's all that is. So, yeah. How's everyone doing? How's everyone feeling today? Like I say, a full week of StarCraft for us, on the weekdays at least. Like I say, I'm not here Saturday, Sunday, Monday, but I'm super excited about what's coming up because we got a lot of cool stuff planned. We've got Team Liquid Map Contest Tournament next week. Obviously, WardiTV Mondays are continuing. We're going to be having the WardiTV Korean Royale coming around real soon as well. The WardiTV Fall Frenzy will also be happening in the near future. And then we are basically looking toward the WardiTV 2025 Championship. So, yeah, it's a day. It's a week. We've just got a lot coming up. Obviously, there's a good amount of cups to cover. The Leo Cup is on. We're just in a fun place, I feel like, in terms of stuff to watch. We're in the full off-season swing. I just had a fun email come through this morning about something we might be able to fund as well, which would be really cool if we could get that together as well, because we were talking about something yesterday that'd be exciting. I'll not elaborate just now, but there's some excitement in the air of what we could do. Hatches coming down into place. Just going to be seeing a couple Queens and Lings coming through. Nexus, Cybercore, all coming up. Simulators on the way by as well. We just have our Overlord pushing up into the natural expansion. So looking to see a little bit of what's going on, a little bit of what's taking place. Look at that Nexus building, Warp Gate on the way in. Hey, what's up? 5 Attack Cats. Thank you so much for the 2-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you for priming us up. Thank you so very much. Hell yeah. Thank you, thank you. If you just joined us today and you're on the YouTube channel, don't forget to give us a like and a subscription as well. It takes a couple of moments to scroll down beneath the video. Hit that like button. The more likes you get early, the more YouTube likes the video, and the more YouTube's like, oh, we should get more people to watch this. So give it a like or two. I don't know what the viewership is going to be like today, to be honest, because like I said, I expect a lot of people have probably watched this already. Then sometimes people like to just chill and they don't mind watching it again, they just like the background noise and stuff. Probably interested to see where the viewership gets to today, especially on YouTube, because YouTube is such a YouTube is such a hit and a miss on things. Sometimes I feel like I stream something on YouTube that I feel like it's going to do terribly, and it just like pops off. And then the next day I'm like, rah, some sick games today, and YouTube's like 130 viewers and no more. It's such a weird space to be streaming into right now. It's very, very unpredictable. Maybe it is predictable, but I've just not learned the patterns yet, you know? Like, I feel like I know how my Twitch channel works. I know what's good, what's bad. I have my expectations pretty well set there, but like, yeah, YouTube is a different beast that I'm not as experienced with, for sure. On a little patrol. Stargate is still building up. The Rotron is on the way through. And get all of that up and started here. A couple of moments. A couple of adepts going to go warping in as well. Obviously, 4 minutes in, a much more standard beginning to this map than what we saw on the previous one. So right from the get-go, Serral's going to feel a bit more comfortable. And herO, well, we'll see what herO wants to do as well. We'll see what his plan kind of becomes as the probe sets up onto the third Nexus. The Lings and the Roach are still coming out. The Adepts are going to go for a little cheeky shade down toward the south. Watching Serel play is always good, even when you know the results. Yeah, I mean, I don't know the results, so it's great for me. But yeah, for a lot of people, they just honestly, I think a lot of people like watching games and just getting a fresh take on the games as well. Like StarCraft 2 is fun enough that a lot of the time you can rewatch things, and you know, obviously some games just don't have a lot to them, right? Some games someone just gets ahead and wins, but there's so much nuance in StarCraft 2 that I think a lot of the time you really can just watch and be like, man, I didn't notice that the first time around. This happens to me all the time. Someone mentions like, oh, you know, we're doing this or we're doing that, I'm like, huh, I really didn't notice that when I watched that game, and I go back, I'm like, man, that's really something that you know, really took place. Crazy. Bane Nest on the way up. A few Lings coming through. Ravager is on the way. So this is looking pretty aggressive from Serel. Only 38 drones, and he's getting his aggression on for this next map. No, obviously was a first big sign of this, cutting drones as well. And I think this game, herO just does not have the info. herO's information is super limited. He's not really been super active on the map, right? He's not really seen too much of anything. I mean, he's building a cannon up here, but yeah, he's just blind. He's not seen anything in a long time. The oracles have been, you know, hiding to kind of come in as a surprise factor. Well, great. That's lovely for you, herO. Tell me, how exactly do we defend this attack running into your third base right now? I'll give you the answer to that one, guys. We just don't. I mean, the oracles are going to activate. The other oracles turn back around. The adepts are coming back over too. At the very least, this third base is going down. You cannot possibly be this unprepared and find a defense on your third. Even loses an oracle to the corrosive vials as well, so a major connection there is going to be a major positive. There's 18 dead probes going down so far. The oracle's still active there, going to go after Ravager now, trying to turn onto some roaches. The adepts getting caught a little bit as well, so a bit more damage done on that. One more oracle going down. The Nexus has fallen. The Ling Roach still looking to try and break through over here, and yeah, maybe break on into the natural in the next couple of moments, move ourselves into position on that. Opportunities definitely just kind of presenting themselves. A 7 Ravager morphin. I mean, Serel starts droning, he got the lair on the way as well, so he'll look for a transition to this rather than just straight up killing. To be fair, once you kind of go down to 2 bases of Protoss, defending becomes a lot more, simple because you've got a wall off. Your static defense also sits behind. I don't think that necessarily means he defends this, but there's a reason why Serel is looking toward the future rather than putting everything on the, hey, I need to break through this right now, else I'm doomed. herO supply blocked off, losing the pylon, is probably going to lose another at the front. Oracle gets caught in the Biles again. Raining Biles magnetized to the Oracles. And the Oracles are not having a great time because of it. There's another one showing up. He's like, I will dodge these Biles. He really has no choice. I mean, this is a scenario where if Serel had probably just built units, he just swarms through and wins. But he's done so much damage that by building a lair and drones, he's also going to move toward victory, right? He's a 3-base saturated Zerg player now. He's got himself the opportunity to tech into roach speed, and he's just going to have so many more units than what hero's going to have access to. Because if hero wants to play this game, either he's got 2 choices. Either he just attacks himself with anything he can find, well, he doesn't have the units for that right now. Or he builds up a bit, in which case Serral's eco advantage is going to kick in. If hero builds up a bit, he's going to have to reinvest in a 3rd base. Because of everything that's happened, he's going to have very late tech. There's nothing that's immediately ready here from hero. Like, hero is a long way off being competitive in a longer game. And that just means that by the time he kind of gets set up, I mean, this might just be the case that Serel maxes and goes. I honestly don't know if he waits that long. He might just go roach speed and bane speed. That might happen just about when he maxes, actually. The rate at which he's producing roaches, that might just line up as well. So I think the general concept, though, is clear, is that Serel is just going to have a hell of a lot of stuff. A bane speed coming through. I don't believe we lost the Oracles as well. 5 Oracles died. It's kind of ridiculous when we didn't bring any... like, how would we lose 5 Oracles when the Queens didn't come across the map, man? What is going on to lose 5 Oracles defensively? Like, that's almost, like, you almost have to try to lose that many Oracles, like, That's genuinely something. These elves are going to have a charge back. That's not going to give you anything. Your sub 100 supply... Serral's, I said Serel might max out as he hits the speed upgrades. Obviously, I was very wrong on that. His supply didn't increase that much recently, but he did a bit of investment into a 4th hatch, and plus missiles started up as well, so it's not just been unit pumping. He's also made Lings and Banes rather than purely Roaches, so like I say, the concept is the same. You get the speed upgrades, you have a lot of units, you're going to attack in and have a lot. You see the Archon's morphing from hero. I mean, that's his only form of splash damage, really, and he needs something, but a couple of Archons ain't going to do it. A couple of Archons and some great Prism Micro against a smaller army can pull off magic. This is not a small army. This is so much Roach Ravager. There are 2 Immortals on the right side as well. I fear for them that they might just get caught by the Lings. They may not get to do too much onto the Roaches. We're not even going to get to see it. Did he really lose... Did all 5 of those Oracles die to Biles? That's really a ridiculous stat, no? But, like, that really is a bit of a ridiculous stat. If every single one of these Oracles died to Biles, maybe he lost, like, 1 flying in across the map or something. So this was the first one he lost now? Okay, I missed that one. That was the first one that died to a Bile, right? I'm going hunting for info. Is it this one that dies to the Bile? But they're all here, right? So yeah, it's got to be one of these guys just dies to the Bile. Yeah, this Oracle dies to the Bile, just sits still. He's on 2 Oracles. Eats Biles on both of them. Oh my god, I didn't even see that double kill of the Bile. Wow, that's actually crazy. So that's 3. And then I saw 1 more get Biled over here as well. I think this one dies to Biles. And this one maybe dies across the map or so. Yeah, this one dies to Biles, and this is our last Oracle. Where did you die? Did he just die elsewhere? He chased across the map and died, I think. That was actually ridiculous, though. How silly. Yeah, how silly. 4 Oracles dead to Biles is into the next game or anything. We can take our time and jump into the next one, so... Awesome. Have I checked the new map pool yet? No. Next week we'll be doing the Team Liquid Map Contest Tournament, so the official tournament for the TLMC. We'll be seeing all 16 of the new maps that have made the finalists in action. And yeah, we'll see all 16 of those getting played out. That should be a lot of fun. I tend not to look at them too far in advance. I like to look at them kind of the morning of. the tournament just to kind of see what we're playing with and kind of going with a bit of fun and excitement. But yeah, obviously a bunch of those will typically then make the ladder as well, so should be pretty cool. Yeah, obviously they're not guaranteed ladder maps or anything yet, of course, guys. Ladder maps will get changed. Probably the typical turnaround was we'd have a TLMC, so the TLMC would wrap up in like 2 weeks or so, say, after the tournament. And from there, it's usually 2 to 3 months for new maps, but Liquid Map Contest guys are in charge of the new maps now, so maybe they can push them out sooner. I'm just not sure how much has to be checked on by Blizzard. Like, I don't know if the Blizzard process still slows that up or what the case is. This is our first time having a tournament where we know the map pool is going to be edited by the TLMC guys. So this is kind of a first for everyone. We're all kind of in kind of new territory. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly they come around. I also wonder if they're going to do a full 9-map change. I feel like they will. Surely we, at the very least, we're going to see 7 maps change. I feel like we might see 9 new maps. I think that'd be great. The quality of the TLMC maps lately as well, the last few editions have been so good. You could really kind of just pick and choose, you know, any 9 of the 16 and make a pretty good map pool. So I'd be surprised if they don't feel like they can just go for a full 9-map shift. Be pretty cool. Sweet. You know, some streams allow you to rewind while it's live. Is that something the streamer has to enable? Yeah, so the new rewind feature on Twitch, it's for subscribers only, or if you have Twitch Turbo, you have it on all channels. The only thing is that streamers, A, have to enable it, but B, they have to enable their VODs. So if you don't have access to if the streamer doesn't enable their VODs to be public, then the rewind feature doesn't exist. So, because I guess it's built in based on the VOD, so I think it's turned on naturally if you already have your VODs turned on, but that's, you know, dependent on the fact that you have your VODs turned on. So that's probably the only reason why, because you have Turbo, so you should have access to it on every channel that applies it. Which I imagine, now that that's the thing, most streams will find a way to apply that and produce their VODs or so, I would guess. So yeah, what's up, Parabyte? 78-month resub, the 69-month streak. Nice, hell yeah, thank you so much. The 69, appreciate it. I'm going to be firing a Depth Take some damage Ling coming about, and we will just be seeing our Ling speed on the way through. Overlord, Hatchery, and a couple of Spore Crawlers on the way up as well. So you bring all of that through. The Adept continues to move about a little bit here. And I'm just going to be seeing the Oracle is on the way. Trying to boost out the Stargate. Yapping on over the first 3 minutes of this game. It's not really too much happening. There's some little bits and pieces. I ain't no Hearthstone. I don't care if this Adept stepped across the map 1 second later than usual. I'm in for the grand scheme of this game, and to me, this is just nice standard. Guys poking around for some damage. Always fun. We talked about this when we casted herO Serel last time they played, which was in this tournament as well. They played in the upper bracket, right? But yeah, it's actually kind of fun because you talk about herO and Serel, and you've got these two guys that are beasts, but herO is one of the absolute best players at getting damage done with his oracles. Meanwhile, Serral's one of the absolute best players at denying damage in the early game of his EVP as well. And so you have this real kind of heavyweight duel where it's just, you know, you see the expertise of someone who's usually kind of making, you know, mincemeat of all the drones on the map early. Meanwhile, Serel is holding him to 2 or 3 kills here and there because his queen position is so good. He's so active with where he needs to be. Very nicely done in that regard. What's up, Game Stooley? Thank you so much for the 10-month resub as well. Let's rewind. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, rewind feature is just good. Nothing to complain about there. Big plus. If you want to give the gift of rewinding to more people, by the way, it is September. So today and tomorrow, still, if you gift 5 subs, there is a guaranteed 1 sub bonus. So if you gift 5, you get to give 1 extra on Twitch, and of course, sometimes you even get more than 1. It's a little bit of a lottery. Sometimes you get 2. I've seen 2 so far. We haven't seen too many, but yeah, if you're feeling generous and you want to give the gift of rewinding this September, give 5 and get at least 1 gift as sub free. Anyways, back to this game. Because things are heating up. herO is on the map. A couple of Depths want to poke forward. The Oracles are overhead, and they will check in to see what they can do. The Zerglings are going to try and play the wraparound, but the Depths will just not shade. The Lings, you know, they don't want them to shade, otherwise they would have hidden, he would have hidden the Lings and then kind of shown the Lings as the Adept shade in. He's afraid that if he's not surrounding the shades preemptively, then he might end up in a position where the Adepts get into a little bit of a gap, and it becomes more of an issue. So he'd rather just these Adepts not commit in at all, shows the Lings on top of them, pushes that back, means they're in great position. If the Shade does commit, it's an instant surround as well. Blink finishing soon from herO, and that's the main thing here that's going to start making this interesting. So yes, I'll flip the guys top and bottom on the scoreboard. I'm yapping on and not looking at that, so didn't do it already. Let's see, a few Zerglings going to get turned around by the Stalkers, by the Adepts. A couple Stalkers going to fire, the Zerglings already taking damage. We do have the charge and the +1 upgrade building up from herO, so we get both of those upgrades coming straight into play as the Roach Speed, the Roaches, the Lings all continue to come out, and Serral preps himself off 68 drones to start just cranking units. Obviously prepping to deal with this first round of blink pressure. I don't think Serral, I mean, is Serral going to be committed in this game? I mean, he's got an Evo Chamber that he's not using yet. I guess seeing an upgrade on that Evo Chamber would tell us a little bit more about what to maybe expect here. Right now, just cranking units. Of course, we can put that down to just the fact he's playing defense against these Blink Stalkers. There's the Adepts. Not committed in earlier, going to come in now. At least 2 drones will go down here, and it takes a little while to get the damage going, so we're going to see 3 or 4 drones. 5 now in total. Not all of them were from the Adepts. I think 1 or 2 elsewhere, perhaps. I don't think those Adepts were the culprits of all 5, but maybe they were. Maybe I just lost track of 1 or 2 of those shots, as the Temple Archives will finish. And herO will get a whole bunch of additional gates on the way with that Fleet Beacon, and just continuing to look to the later stages of this game. Infestation Pit coming down from Serral, starting to look to tech up then, adding a drone or 2, and we get confirmation that he does in fact want to play a bit of a longer game here, rather than potentially going for the kind of the earlier, more aggressive route, which is, again, just what I was kind of thinking may have been the case, just because, you know, 68 drones, there was nothing else kind of, you know, future-proofing this game coming online. The Evo Chamber that hadn't started upgrading, like, yes, you built the Evo Chamber, but maybe you just decided crank units out and not upgrade. Obviously, none of that was true. It is just going to be tech now. This was just a defense against the Stalkers at first, and now on we go. It's a massive run by. Classic herO, nothing in the wall, or not enough in the wall, and these Lings and Roaches are going to get into the main base. In a hot second since I talked about herO's wall not doing its job, and unfortunately that's going to be the case here, and that opens the door for him to be just out of position for this 4th base attack as well. So Serral doesn't really do much in the main. He hits a lot of pros, doesn't kill many, but he cancels the 4th with another group of units, which is a very meaningful play, because there's also nothing there to immediately rebuild it either. So it really does keep herO as a 3-base Protoss for a significant period of time, and Serral is just cruising through to his future tech. You see that Hive on the way up. So you've got a Hive coming up, you've got that Lurker Den coming down. You can see all of the bits and pieces that just, you know, a couple Infestors added on too. Not that herO is not teching himself. Fleet Beacon finished and he gets himself a Mothership added on. It looks as though it will only be the Mothership for the moment. Doesn't look as though we're going to get anything else alongside that. So just the Mothership for now, +2 attack about halfway done. Stalkers and Oracle still pushing around on the left-hand side. One more Stasis Ward dropping straight into place, and a few Zealots gathering over on the right. So the Zealots join up together. Mothership still building, +2 attack, finishing very soon. Gateway in the Nexus coming online for now. Double Hydras building as well. Still got the Viper, still got the Lurkers pushing on through. Mothership just joining up. A couple of Oracles are right there. The Stalkers are moving around. And we just have everything kind of gathered up. So, yeah, I mean, Mothership just pushing up. We're going to do a crazy recall. I mean, it's the only reason you're moving the Mothership like this, right? But, yeah, we're going to try it. Stasis Ward's on the high ground. Time Warp on the ramp. Fungal Growth came down preemptively. Now the Storm's come down. Serral was a little bit aware of it. He started moving up. The Stasis Ward catches and blocks the ramp. What a play from herO! Man, it almost felt like such a daring move already, but look at him go! herO with the absolute moves. Now in this main base and controlling. Look at him go, storming on those Lurkers, this Hive. It takes some nipples. I mean, this has worked out so far. Serral just about dealing with some Zealots that are elsewhere on the map, but otherwise still kind of a little bit concerning of a situation. Another Storm coming down, and these units are kind of beaten up. I mean, Serral's actually losing to those Zealots on the other side as well, so the Zealots are doing a lot of work, and herO really has made a great play, and obviously you win in this main base, and there's so much of the tech available here. That's why it's so important for Serral to defend this location. Your main holds so much. 5th base has fallen. herO has to recall out, loses 1 Archon while recalling. I was not believing that Mothership was actually going to be able to make that play. But it really worked, and it worked because of the setup. Because he went for the stasis on the ramp. That really helped it by time. He time warped the ramp as well. So he really had it wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to recall in your main and see what happens. He had a way to force that play to work. You know, it wasn't just like one single move. It was the extra little touches that really allowed for that to see success. Serel drops down in supply. He's less supply than herO. Never a good sign for a Zerg player to be trailing on the supply counts. As herO rebuilds a Mothership, we'll get another Stargate online. I imagine his intentions soon have to look toward Tempest because he knows there's lurkers out. He saw the lurkers as Serel played defense there eventually. So he knows that lurker count is going to become a real problem for him soon. And so to me, it can only really make sense that in that situation we start to get the Tempest out. And obviously the second Stargate suggests that. And there it is now in the production tab as well, as alongside another Oracle. As I did lose 1 or 2 of his Oracles before. And Oracles are going to be very important because you're fighting against the lurkers. Anytime you're fighting against these lurkers, you need to see them. And Oracles and Revelations are the most reliable vision you can have, because once the Revelation is down, you can't lose that Revelation mid-fight until the timer is gone, right? So you know exactly how long you see those lurkers for. You don't lose an Observer 6 seconds in, and it's like, oh god, I'm halfway, committed to these lurkers. It's a massive fungal, by the way, on those Zealots. Jeez, herO. He may be a little bit crazy with those, but yeah, the TLDR on my point is just that, yeah, Revelation is going to be necessary. You need a lot of them to make sure you're constantly revelating those lurkers as well. There's going to be a good cleanup on this left-hand side after that. Yeah, scary fungal on the right. Didn't actually get too many Zealots in the end, just softening a bunch up. Did push the big chunk of them away and maybe opens the map for Serel if he wants to move around a bit. But as we've seen so far, Serel struggling to kind of take the fights that are going to really succeed for him. One more Revelation to that right side. Lurker is going to take a little bit of a tap. Again, as long as they're revelated, you're going to constantly see them in this situation where it's just... Yeah, I mean, if they're revelated, then, you can play it. I don't think the Mothership's going to be allowed in a second time. As it comes around the left side, obviously recall on that guy should be on cooldown. We should be able to go again, but yeah, I don't think the Mothership is doing much anytime soon. Serel seems pretty darn prepared to make sure that doesn't happen twice. Couple cannons, batteries coming through, Storm coming into place as the Hydras get pushed back. The Zerglings gathering up here, the Lurkers join together. That's, again, always a scary army that is joining up, but it's also a scary army that herO arrives with 2 Storms, and Tempest will do that. So, yes, we are going to see the Fungal landing on a few High Templar. We have to Storm defensively for the High Templar now. Serel kind of tries to commit, doesn't get much out of it, just ends up eating Storms. I think he knows he needs to get some good catches here, and that's why he's playing a little bit loose. That was a pretty kind of daring, risky move for Serel. I don't know if he necessarily makes that unless he's in this position right now where he kind of has to make things happen, And that very much so is the case at the moment, that kind of got to make some things happen here sooner rather than later. Cannons are going to find a Nidus network. Will be going down. The Lings are going to get caught in the storm right there. The Tempest continue to push this back. Lurker's still taking some shots. The Mothership playing a recall. Nidus across the map denied by the cannons. We'll try another Nidus nearby and see if we can maybe get the Lurkers out there and maybe try and siege up that base and that static defense. There's going to be a lot of effort to kind of break through because there is just a layer of cannons, right? So there's a lot to do to really push yourself through that position successfully. And that's definitely one of the bigger issues at the moment as we see a couple of cannons still poking around. Lurkers taking a few more shots. Those Tempers get back to work. Sport Crawler taking a few hits of damage as well. A little bit more damage being done. See the Tempest continue to move. The Hydra's trying to come around on both sides. The Tempest are a little bit stuck, surrounded. Gonna have to escape down toward the bottom side, but then the Hydras can actually give decent chase, and the Lurkers are covering on the ground, so the Tempest really stood outside of the safety zone, and herO is going to lose all of those air units and give Serel a wide open opportunity. Compared to what this was, looking like, Time Warp comes down, hero's scrambling a little bit here, needs to buy time. Hit by Lurkers on the left-hand side as well, as Serel continues to try and find ways for himself to chip on through to get some work done. herO just getting too happy with those Tempests, a little bit lax on them, and just getting caught a little bit there as 3 of those Lurkers make it out. The final one will go down as the Observer gets in reach, and that Nidus should go down too. But once again, we're cleaning up on the left side, and Serel is already making his next move. The beauty of Serel's play is that fluidity from one side of the map to the other, going from one direction to the next. And in this case, You can see the Lurkers burrowing up, the Hydras are pushing down, cannons and batteries continue to take a whole bunch more damage there. A couple of Tempers shooting in and hitting the Overseers. Two armor coming up. There is the Overseer overhead. The Hydra is still building on in, and the Zerglings are going to join up with everything else as well. So bringing all of that through. As you all can see, the couple of Archons are going to get there. The Lurk already going down. The Zealots are still chasing. Hydra's getting pushed away. The rest of those probes coming back up together, and the Hydra still joining up over on the sides just for the moment. Couple of Tempest shots. The Hydra's taking some damage. You're going to be seeing the Corruptors obviously on the way. Serral preparing for more and more units here to help out, trying to get away in the Nidus, but it does go down. As that Nidus goes down, we see 3 more Void Rays in production with Flux Veins as well. So we're prepping for the Corruptors, giving us an opportunity to kind of get something out that can fight against the Corruptors, which are again kind of essential on the other side. So playing around that very nicely as these Zealots charge through. A couple drones already begin going down. 4 workers killed. More of them may be in trouble. The Zealots are going to run by at this point. Maybe even let those Zealots just take these units as far away as possible. Not that herO is really looking to take advantage of positioned units, and he wasn't really looking to take advantage of his Zealots there either. He's busy over here clearing up another Nidus attempt. He does get in for a couple of drones in the end. But yeah, there's a lot more going on to just than just that Zealot run by, so no wonder that he's not necessarily paying attention to that exact location. As the Tempests get back to work, a couple of Immortals still punching on through. +2 air weapons coming up, +2 shields. We've got +3 armor. Really are just seeing fantastic upgrades for herO, and Serel not quite reciprocating. He's going to be on 2-2 as herO heads in towards +3, +2 on further tech units as well. Obviously, Serral is going to say not really any air upgrades yet either, but he does have +1 fire attack starting, so he's moving towards something that can help these Corruptors out. As the ship attacks in, you're going to see the Corruptors wanting to come in from the left-hand side, but they don't commit. Decide not to go for that move just yet. Another storm coming into place. herO Parasite coming up, by the way. Burrow on the way through. So just bringing all of that online is what you are going to have. I mean, this army is so far just being uncontestable. You can see Serral on his way to the Neural Parasite, and that might be one of the real ways in which he can still kind of have a chance to fight this. Turn some of the Protoss units against each other. The difficulty is going to be keeping those Infestors alive long enough for their Neurals to stick. Especially with so many Tempests up in the sky, having the range, some target firing available could be a big factor onto those Infestors once you have detection on them. And in general, you can just see herO, he's done with kind of breaking down the left side base. Now he realizes there's bases on this right side we can grab, and some serious damage we can put in over on this direction, and that's exactly what he begins to go for. +3 air weapons, +3 armor, +3 shields. We'll continue to come through here at the moment. You see the Knights still gathering up. Pylon in trouble, Cannon in the battery in trouble. Just going to see the Voids going after the Lurker. We're going to see this Nidus network is indeed going to go down, so that will be a kill. Nidus on the left side in reach of a cannon, so that one will probably not come up with much health left on it. Serral. Look, a Corruptor settled on the right side. I mean, at this point, it is still herO's army that's the one that's moving around, looking to find the opportunities and the moments to move in. Look at the base count. Obviously, Serral all game long has not really had creep on the map. He's not had control. The only control that's really come for Serral is through the Niduses, and he's put them in very conservative positions so he can guarantee some units get into position. But yeah, currently a 5-base Zerg versus incoming 6-base. Well, basically incoming 6 bases for both players. So equal base count is not exactly great for Serral either. Like I say, just trailing in those earlier stages is starting to really cost him a little bit as the changelings gather up there. So a lot of units from herO on that far right-hand side. Extractor goes down. A couple of drones will be killed. Hydra Lurker still wanting to press forward a little further. That Revelation was not really it. The second one was a little bit better. A couple of Lurkers here. Do we have vision on them? Yeah, we have an Observer too, so space just goes down. Serral is just running. I mean, when you see the Zerg just retreating like this, refusing to commit to the fight, giving up bases, you know it's not pretty. We commit in right here. We do get a Parasitic Bomb off. Storm's already covering the Corruptors. And the Parasitic Bomb was good. We get all the shields off the Tempests. We got to follow up, though. There's still Storms available. There's just no way. This army is not what it needs. It's way too kind of unit heavy versus spellcaster heavy. That said, the counterattack is doing a lot of work, and herO lost 33 probes already, so if there's a way, I mean, if we can just get through this army one time, it just doesn't feel likely. Yeah, I mean, hero's supply dropped a lot. It's just his army that remains is always so much better than what Serel has remaining, and that obviously makes a big difference right there. GG. Best of 7, so we're not kind of, you know, nibbling at our fingertips or anything just yet for Serel. Again, this is lower bracket. This is an elimination series. And Serel in that bottom left is looking to tie us back up to 2-2 if he can grab a win here on Golden Wall. While on the other side of the map, the red Protoss player is herO. And he has a 2-1 advantage. And that entire last game kind of really just stemmed from that first Mothership recall play. What a fantastic option as herO just finds the opportunity to come in, look good, deliver. Yeah, very nicely done by herO. Very cool stuff. Because like I say, from that point on, he really controlled a lot of the game. And he had a fight or two where I was like, uh-oh, feels like he's losing a lot, but he was always having enough economy to build back out of those situations. So, played it very calmly, played it very responsibly, I would say, as well. Did a great job overall, like I said, just keeping everything kind of where it needed to be. Some good stuff. Big fan of that. Yep, Golden Wall does have this gold base. So we're going to opt to take that straight away on this map. It's not a difficult to defend gold. It's forward. It's obviously... The worst part of that gold base is typically the bottom side of the map becoming under attack. If a couple of adepts get to the other side, you can deny a lot of mining there if you don't have a way to kind of get through and to deal with those properly. So I'd say that that's typically the larger factor more than anything else usually. Drone's just going to transfer over, get those gold minerals mining, and we get to work. Sorry, just reading chat. Does anyone know where I can find a replay pack of these games? I don't know if it's released. I got these directly from the organizers to cast. It might be they only sent them out to people who supported the crowdfunding for this event. I'd say that's the most likely situation. So, yeah, I'm not sure if the replays are easily available. So just because no one else answered you, that's the most information I can basically provide myself. So hope it's I know it's not really useful, but better than to sit in silence, I guess. Am I casting this all in one go as well? Yes, this was about 15 minutes ago, but yes, we're gonna just cast everything today unless it's super long. Like, you know, we've got 4 best of 7s. I'm thinking maybe an hour and a half-ish each on average. So if it's 6 or 7 hours, we're good. If it's like 8 or 9 hours, then we might cast the finals another day. I don't know. I did absolutely zero research on these games, so I just know that they happened. What round is this? This is the lower bracket. So it's top 4. The lower bracket is Serel versus herO, and the winner bracket is Clem versus Raynor. And the loser of that winner bracket plays the winner of the lower bracket. So it's top 4, but this is an elimination match, whereas the series after this will be a winner bracket final. So there's still a second life for those guys up in the high ground, up in the upper bracket. Dev's going to recall home. We did get some drones, so you see that kind of exact thing I'm talking about. But Serel gets an access into the middle of the map as well, because he got rid of some minerals on that left side. And so you can access the bottom side, and hence the Lings are able to force the adepts to go back. And now herO has an opening here that he may need to protect. The Lings get in for a probe. Oracle activating, so herO's not going to let Serel stick around for a better surround on those adepts. Anything that takes more than a couple seconds to kill, these Lings don't really want to be a part of it, right? So just making sure that that is very much so the case. The Evo Chamber comes up. And yes, Walker Roller Drone on the way through, adding on a Queen, Nexus building into place. Oracle and the Warp Gate all coming online as well, as we continue to settle in just for the moment. Oracle's going to activate 3-4 drones going down immediately. It's going to be not too bad. The couple of queens are going to be right there. The Oracle's going to push back the other direction again. Well, the upgrade building, we do see the queen, the lings, the drones all continue to come through then just for a few moments. Take a few opportunities on that. The ling's still gathering. The adept's going to get behind the mineral line. Gold mineral drone's going to pull away. The queens are going to be right there. The adept's just going to fight. 3 workers going down. There's actually going to be some good damage, right? I mean, 3 workers, a lot of lost mine time. The adepts get caught though, and that can't be good. Oh, this is going to be a full surround. Adepts go down way too easily. What they were doing was nice, but they needed to kind of get blocked up a little bit there, not let a full surround go off. Or have the support of the oracles. The oracles were just back over in the bottom right. And now they come across, and now they're out of position almost. There's only 2 stalkers there. There could have been a moment where you just run into the main base and cause some chaos, because the oracles were still chasing you. So it's not like the oracles are preemptively just popping their pulsar beams and zip-zapping you down the moment you run in. It would have taken some time to catch up, activate, and start cleaning out the lings. So maybe there was an opportunity there for, Serel to find a little extra of those lings. Now here it comes through with these oracles, loses 1 on the gold, doesn't get anything out of it. Okay, he gets a queen in the end, but it costs him a lot more HP on that oracle as well. Can't really say that I love it right now. I think herO is having a little bit of a rough early stages of this game. Here on Golden Wall. Lings, melee upgrade coming through. The Oracle just getting pushed back once again. Couple of gates in the forge coming through. Look at that blink coming around. Going to be finishing very soon. So just going to bring that online, get that all set. Folks going to move about. The Link's checking up. Link coming into play in a moment or two. Still got the gates, the probes. Simulators coming around. The Link's looking for a wraparound on those stalkers. Oracles are going to activate. The Zergling's taking some damage. I mean, the Link's just kind of crushed this. herO is kind of losing at pretty much every single opportunity, I feel like. That said, resources lost is fairly close. It's like 800 difference, but it's also like 2.6 to 1.8k. I mean, Serel's word count is also not great either, but he has been operating off a gold base, so his income is probably better than you'd expect considering that. You can see the income's kind of even. Has been spikes in herO's favor as Serel pulled away. It's kind of weird. Like, I feel like Serel's dominating, but the numbers suggest he's not. But I wonder if Serel's also about to just surge through as he hits Hydras and gets +1. Bane speed, groove spines. I wonder if that just becomes a moment where Serel is just like, okay, here it is. This is why I actually do have too much stuff. And he just waltzes across the map and has a fantastic time of it, right? Like, I feel like we're on the verge of that happening. Obviously, he drones up a little bit with the 4th base now active and available to mine from as well. Still want to try to keep this gold base mining, though. So we need to try and do as much as we can over here as the Stalkers poke around for a couple of moments. Revelation coming down. The feelings getting caught. The Stalker's going to shoot the Queens. Can be right there. We actually send the drones back to mine. So Serel's confident he's going to clean this up. The Hydra's starting to get on top of the Oracles. One goes down. We're continuously building Oracles, which was fine when this was a Ling-heavy defense. Now there's Hydras involved. Those Oracles are not going to do much. I think the quality of the army is starting to become apparent as well, especially as Hydras show up. Like, herO is playing with baseline units. There's no tech in play. It's just not going to be good enough at all, as Serel has absolutely convincingly won that previous fight. And now comes across to look to kind of push in. No Hydra speed yet. He obviously went Groove Spines first. He's going to go for the Hydra speed second. Again, that Muscle Gun's going through. Bane, Hydra all coming about. He's going to start diving in here. The Banes are going to crash forward a little bit. The Ling's getting forward as well. I mean, hard to really be excited about this fight because there's just no way that herO holds on against this, right? The Stalkers are blinking back. What is exciting is it means that Serral's going to bring us a 2-2, and that means that, if nothing else, we're guaranteed 6 maps of this series. Not that I was really worried about that. Serel, it's hard to believe Serral's really losing even when he's down in the series, right? So, kind of always expect him to bounce back to some extent. Yeah, this one was... herO just lost too many of the fights at important points, right? And not even really fights. He lost too many moments where he tried to get something done and he just lost his units instead. The Adepts getting cleaned up way too easily. The Stalkers getting cleaned up a couple of times over. And yeah, there were aspects of it where it was like, well, maybe Serral's supply doesn't look that great despite that. And then you think about the reality, it's like, oh, well, Serral's getting onto better units. He's getting onto a better composition. Meanwhile, herO is still building everything, or throwing everything he has into building Stalkers. You know, we're 10 minutes in game. This is a point in the game where we're talking about storms and mortals, tech units, and everything. And because herO's been losing throughout, none of that ever came to life in this one. GG's, and Serel ties it 1-0. I think the ads are mostly going to block out some nothing build orders, because that's a lot of what PvZ is for the first couple of minutes. Slight adjustments, slight changes, but for the grand scheme of things, setting up towards that Stargate play is the majority of what we do. herO in the top left, Serel in the bottom right. Game 5 of our best of 7. A fun series so far. Very similar kind of vibe. Obviously different games, but similar vibe to the first series these guys played in this tournament in the winner bracket, where it did have that kind of... I mean, that series was actually really crazy. There was a lot of really wild turning points and so on. But that series also had a lot of, like, very different builds. Like, Serel tried to mix it up a couple of times. herO was not afraid to mix it up a couple of times. It was a series where, yeah, every game had like a different feel to it. And this has been very true in this series as well so far. We've had that long game on Persephone. We've had some early games where, you know, had an early game where herO dominated. A couple of games which are quicker that Serel has been very good at just kind of taking advantage and showing up with too much stuff. And I mean, Serel's 2 wins have been in very different manners as well, right? Like, you know, the first game he showed up with Roach Ravager attack that, you know, herO had zero idea was coming. The second game that he won, he's really just taken advantage of herO showing up with armies that he's jumped on, taken advantage of, and eventually has pushed across the map with a convincing number of units with, and just taken the game from there. So it really has been, like I say, a mixed series so far. And obviously this was played offline, full best of 7 in Paris. It's happened this past weekend. So it's happened on Saturday. It's Tuesday today, so I'm casting this 3-4 days late, just in case you want to know exactly how long ago these games were. Obviously not played on the PTR or anything, because this is part of a bigger tournament that started well before the PTR was a thing. Most tournaments are not going to just switch to PTR midway through themselves happening. Stalker about to finish. The Warp Gate in production. Link speed, queens, and drones continue to build on through. So we get all of that brought online. The single Zergling heading up to the top of the map. I'm just going to go for a little bit of a poke in as the Stalker going to head on over and tackle the Overlord for a couple of moments. Overlord already taking some shots. We get cozy. Just gonna see that link speed coming through. Drones on the way. Hatch coming online. A couple Stalkers heading down through the center of the map as well. Gonna make themselves a chance to get straight across to the other side for a little bit. A little bit of pressure on here, and it is just Stalkers early, so no Sentry, no early Adept, so a little bit of a different kind of set of units that come over. And for example, this Overlord would not typically be in trouble here. In this case, it will be, as the Stalkers do have to take a moment to fight off the Lings, though. They want that Overlord, and they're going to get it. The link speed finishes up, and do we lose a Stalker for it? Yes, it was the Queen shot that just about got us there in the end. Just about did what we needed it to. Good job on that one. Oracle still building in, the Warp Gate coming online. Nexus producing, Adept building. And the Oracle flying back over, down to the center of the map. So the Adept's turning back around the other side, so again, just go the other way for a moment or two. Nothing too crazy just yet. We're just going to activate, a couple links take damage. The Adepts are going to try and shade their way through in toward the natural, maybe up toward the main base. Oracle still activating through for a couple of drones. Going to find 3, very much so looking for 4, but not going to find that either. And the Queens are going to be there. We push this back away. Roach roaring on the way in with the lair building too. Drones and links producing. Twilight Council and Gateways coming up as well. Add a Nexus on for good measure. And we are looking good. That's going to shade. Lings look to get a wrap around here. First Adept getting caught. Queen holding on that ramp for a little while to see a few of those Lings still chasing through. Adepts taking damage. More shots continue to come around as the Adepts make their way into that mineral line. We'll see a couple of those drones beginning to go down again. So, herO committing. I mean, how many do we get, right? Okay, up to 4 now. Yeah, finds a low HP drone there. 1 Adept shades away, but should just get caught in the low ground. 5 workers is not bad. herO giving up. I mean, his Adepts for this, right? 6 Adepts and a Stalker, but you also got a ton of Lings as well. Stalker obviously was earlier in the game, but yeah, I don't hate this attack. I feel like this is pretty reasonable for herO. It keeps Serel in a position where you have to, replace a lot of stuff. I see the Dropper Lord morphing in, but the Oracle is chasing those Lings already. It's not going to get a chance to load them up immediately, but maybe now the Oracle gave up on them. The Lings can go back the other way and get into that Dropper Lord. And Serel can look for a way to try and deal some sneaky damage here as the Adepts try and shape, but the Lings actually pulled all the way back. Just going to guarantee the cleanup on this Adept, but not before one more drone goes down. And herO really has found his way to get damage done in this one. That's the drop load then. So he did get that into position. Like I said, he's going to try and grab some damage. Roach is behind this from Serel. No drones just yet, sitting on 64 drones, so maybe could do a few more of those. Slings run in, force an instant warp and little pullback. Push from Serel, from herO, sorry, finds Serel's 4th base. And Serel will lose that, having to cancel it instantly. He's building into the bottom left corner as well, which might be an easier base to hold onto, as the Stalkers threaten the idea of a blink into the main base even. It's a risky play. Just going to start blinking them up though, and we are going to bring them all in. So, commitment in from herO. We're not in a bad choice either. I feel like the Stasis Ward could have come down top of the ramp a little bit sooner. Now you give it a chance to maybe be targeted. A few Lings get caught, the next one gets popped by a Queen. Good Stasis Ward management from Serel. That's going to be what keeps him alive here. If a lot of those Roaches get caught in a Stasis, this is absolutely an opportunity where those Dogs can push through and trade with those Roaches for quite a long time. One other charge building up. Temple Archives just starting, the cannon's still on the way. Our Stalkers retreating back over to the left side for the moment as well. So Stalker's going to find this hatchery bottom left, so I mean, you keep on killing these bases, Serel can't mine off a 4th, and that's going to become a problem as the few Zealots take their chance to step in toward the Roaches. The Oracle's going to be there, try and hold those Roaches off a little bit as well. As you see the Broodlings popping out, and this hatchery going down, so Serel still a 3-base Zerg. Trying to expand back up. We're just going to run through Stalkers. We're going to deal with this. I mean, Serel trying to get damaged on the other side while he's been the one that's been really heavily bullied by those Stalkers. This is his opportunity. There goes the 4th base of herO. No cancel on that one. That's just a kill. So herO losing his 4th. Ooh, Tunneling Claws turns on right there as well. So that's going to be something we can see as we drop the Revelation down. He misses the Roaches. I think he knew tunneling claws was there, but yeah, he missed it. So now just going to see those roaches moving about. And the Revelation is not active just yet. We are going to get cannon on the low ground. That will help. It's the main army you've got to deal with as well. And Serel just has a lot of units. And bringing all of those units forward right now as we crush on into this Nexus. You're going to see this Roachling force really looking to push through, jumping onto this base, trying to get the wrap around onto these Stalkers. The Roaches, I mean, taking a good fight, but as reinforcing Stalkers show up, that's when it's going to become a bit more questionable. You can see Serel is agreeing with that concept as he tries to make his way out and, you know, retaining some of these units, if at all possible. The Stalkers still chase, a few of those Roaches still getting pushed back and pushed down. Couple of probes in some trouble. Here's the Roach pings in from that right side. We'll get a couple more workers still, so hero's been taking damage as well, continuously in those mineral lines throughout this. And +2 attack building, infestation pit coming up, Hydras in production, +2 missiles, groove spines, all being added into play. Storm is coming up with a few cannons on the way as well, +2 attack. Part of this also. Hydra just joins up and we'll split a little, go a couple different directions, get itself settled in there. We do see the cannons continue to come up and online as the Storm and the +2 comes into play. Cannons in the gateway all producing online. See those 3 oracles continue to join up together here. Again, that Storm and the +2 done. Look at Den. 5 Blings and Hydras coming about. Muscular Augments and the +2 missiles coming through as well. The Stalkers do take the Watchtower and we'll just kind of clear up. Holding map control as herO. It's funky because he really did such a great job of keeping Serel on 3 bases, but man, Serel's counters really did so much. And herO was not in position to deal with them. The Burrowed Roaches caused a lot of trouble as well. And that's kind of opened the door for Serel to kind of step up in this. I mean, we do have High Templars now available. It's going to be a big difference to before when we were just reliant on the Stalkers. But yeah, we do kind of need them to step over here and to find something. Oracle goes down, we drop the first Storm. I appreciate the High Templar maybe not find the Hydras as clumped as they wanted, but you got to start fighting this. Roaches on the left side once more. 4th base from herO is a no-go because Serel is there and he's jumping on it. herO's going to try and warp in for the defense. I'm not sure if he'll get it as the Oracle does go down. Nexus is surviving for the moment. Okay, now it's being cancelled, so the 4th base does go in the end. It survived a while, but yeah, Roach just cleaned up the warp in. Still pushing though against this main army, and you can always say that if herO has this force right now, there's going to be a chance. Ling Hydra Roach trying to produce on the other side, but Serel needs to gather everything up together. He's causing chaos. He's making it difficult for herO to just kind of full send this and fully focus on this fight, because he's still running around on the other side of the map, and he's making sure that herO is as all in as he possibly can be with this push to this side. First Storm was actually not badly placed. It didn't hit immediately, but it's exactly where the units wanted to walk into to come and fight these Stalkers. There's going to be the drone pull as the Roaches step through. The Hydra's still trying to chase. It's a lot of Hydras left, and we're not exactly hitting the Hydras down easily. And I think Serel kills off this Archon. I think he's making a very good case as towards this game being a hold and a defense for him. See a few Roaches coming in underneath the ground, a couple of Zealots and Immortal coming back over there. 2 more Stalkers blinking away one more time. Lurker and the Queen still gathering. We have the Hydras and the Roaches joining up. Stalkers blink down. +3 attack is going to be done fairly soon as well. A couple more Roaches still building. As we do see the Stalker Immortal still pushing on through. Lurker taking a few more shots. Immortal's firing onto the Roaches. Immortal is going to be taken out right there. The Archon going down as well, perhaps. And there's just enough Hydras. And with the support of a couple of Lurkers, this one is no longer competitive. 45 supply of herO. He got Serel down to 110 supply, but yeah, I mean, like I say, it wasn't the smoothest ending kind of sequence from Serel. He did take some shots, he did take some storms, but he has clearly significantly more than herO coming out of these fights. herO will take a moment to fall back, regroup, and go one more time, perhaps. Again, he just never got to a 4th base. He did such a great job initially of denying the 4th, and the Zerg took back what was done to himself. At the end of the day, he said, you deny my 4th, I deny yours. And that ends up being a real big problem at the end of the day. Yeah, that's something that herO just never really recovered from, as one more High Templar warps in. 5 Lurkers going through, the Hive is halfway done, and drones producing. Serel wins this game, it will be the first time he's leading in the series. He's always been trailing, always down that map. He lost, and then he drew, and he lost, and then he tied it up again. This would be his first chance to take the lead. And it would be then the first chance at match point in this entire series for either player. So this is coming back across. The Hydra is still gathering up. It's going to come pushing forward for a couple moments. Yeah, the seismic expanse coming about. The Hydra's all coming through. Plus 3 missile upgrades starting. Serel is just kind of picking and choosing what he goes for now. Getting lurker upgrades as well. He's not pushing because these upgrades are going to make his life, better for himself. So yeah, just kind of staying away from that. I think we can, for the most part, see where we are heading to. Is still currently, an Archon and an armor upgrade coming in. I mean, hero's obviously getting time to build up himself, but Serel also knows that hero's been a 3-base Protoss player, and that's not sustainable. We're 15 minutes in game, so he knows fine well that hero is struggling along in this game, that he's fine to kind of give him a little bit of time for him to build up himself. Serel's, moments to kind of build up will go a lot further than hero's moments because Serel's just going to be building off of so much better from the start. On Storm, I just get pushed back. Overseer's taking damage. And try and fight this left side army. It's the right side army showing up. That's really going to be the death of hero here. Serel is walking through storms, and if that ain't a sign that you should probably get out of the game, losing your entire army probably will be. GG says hero, and Serel will take his first lead of the series to make it 3-2 in the best of 7. One more map, and he is through to the the lower bracket finals event. As we get into our first match point of the day. In the top right side, our blue Zerg player is going to be Serel. Taking on the red Protoss on the bottom left, it is hero. Hero on a new team, by the way. Didn't bring this up. Hero joined SKT1. What? An old Casper Pro League team picking up a player. That is amazing. Hero has not been on a Korean team for a long time. Maybe since he joined since he was on CJ Entus. Since then, Hero's been on Root. He's been on Dragon Phoenix Gaming, which was a Chinese team. Went to Weibo Gaming. Obviously, was just on Twisted Minds for a long time as well. Most recently was part of... wasn't most recently part of Twisted Minds after leaving Weibo last year. He's been on a Chinese team for a long time. He was obviously a big part of the WTL victories that Dragon Phoenix Gaming came across before they rebranded across as well. So, yeah, crazy team. Back on a Korean... I mean, we don't really have Korean teams either anymore, right? Which is maybe even the bigger news. Like I say, SKT1 picking up hero. Some freaking awesome news. That's really cool to hear. One of the better things I saw on Twitter over the vacation I took last week. Ashcast pool coming around, gateway coming up. You see the extractors coming about as we get ourselves settled in. Is the Nexus going down straight away as well? Just going to put that straight into position here for a couple of moments, get that on the go. Hypercore building along, the simulator coming up as well. We just have a couple queens coming through again. Early game, peaceful in the PvZ at least. Obviously, after this as well, guys, just to reiterate, this is the lower bracket kind of semi-final. So after this, the winner advances to the lower bracket final. They play the loser of the upper bracket final, which is Clem versus Raynor. And then the grand finals from the winners of those matches as well. So that's kind of what the bracket visualizes as, if that helps. I know obviously we're not linking the bracket because these are replays. If we link the bracket, it'll have spoilers on it, so let's try and keep you guys up to date with where we're at. And sure, feel free to ask. I'll try and paint a prettier picture if necessary, but that should get you covered. TLDR right now, the loser of this is out, and the winner goes to the lower bracket finals. We'll be guaranteed top 3, and we'll play against the loser of Clem and herO. It's actually interesting because Serel has not had a good track record against herO lately. Arguably should have lost to him at EWC. Got trounced by herO in this tournament after he beat herO in the winner bracket. Serel then went on to play herO in the round of 4 of the upper bracket, and it was an absolute beatdown. Absolute beatdown. It's pretty crazy, actually, as the Adept wanders over. So yeah, if we get a Serel herO rematch, that'd be cool. If we don't get a Serel herO rematch, we're going to be watching Serel Clem. How can you complain about that? Well, you can't. And hey, if herO plays against any of those guys, those series are always pretty cool as well, but herO will have to win 2 in a row now against Serel. Can he take this one? One game at a time, right? It's fast fleet beacon, huh? Okay. Obviously, 4 gas already suggests something interesting was going to be taking place, and we're going to go fleet beacon early. What do we build here from herO? A second Stargate, and we go 2 Tempests at once. Yes, it is. So probably is going to be a couple Tempests at a time. There is a world where you can build 2 to 4 carriers and then transition into kind of the ground army afterwards and go towards Storm after you've already established the carrier count. That is one way in which you could maybe play out this series. The Lings do break through that Stalk and they break into the Natural. Problem for herO here, because these Lings can absolutely go through for the Scout. They're going to finish off that Adept. And, yeah, Serel is already in the main base with 1 Ling, so he already split 1 away. As he's going to get quite a few probes here as well. So an Adept and a Stalker, 4 probes. Some of the Lings even get out alive, and he got a full Scout in the main base. This could not really have been better for Serel, as he knows exactly what is going on. What is he going to try and do about his opponent's units? Oracle showing up. Queen's going to be right there, pushing that Oracle back. Oracle into the main base, but doesn't stick around too long, taking a turn out of there for the moment. Yeah, Rocheron and Lair both still continuing into play just for now. So just getting a lot of that up and rolling here. Let's see the Oracle dropping the Stasis Ward down in the back. A couple of those drones going to get caught. Okay, it's continuing through. Queen's going to hit that Tempest, push that back a little bit further. Going to be seeing the Tempest obviously going to come through, and a good position to start off with. Gets the Spore Crawler. Starts to put some initial damage on the Queen already as well, so getting some work in early. Not a bad start. Tempest doing what they're meant to do. What you like to see is the Queen's going to transfuse each other up. Going to step on forward, chase down those Tempests a couple of moments. Spore Crawler going to try and relocate toward the back. Because these Tempests have the range to kind of pick away at the Queens, and that's exactly what you want to do, but don't step into range just to fire at the Queen that you were getting close on, right? You just want to take the Queens that are closest to you, keep hitting, force the transfusions. Don't get greedy, because you do not want to be losing these Tempests. You need to keep them alive, and ideally keep them healthy. Time is ticking for these Tempests to make an impact, though, because the Spire is about to be done, and the moment that that Spire completes, we are golden. We are good to go at that point. And then you make some Corruptors, and that's where you get into trouble, as the Tempests in the back do follow up with a kill on the spawning pool. Depths are going to show up now, so last chance to really make an impact here. Seeing the Hatch taking a few more shots. The Adept's going to come back over as well. A few more hits continuing through. And actually get rid of the hatchery. So not bad. We get a hatch in the low ground as well. Adept's going to shade through, looking for some more drones. herO trying to absolutely maximize what he can get from this, and I love it. I love that he's just getting a little extra just as it was about to be time running out. The other Corruptors, we're going to recall now. We will lose 1 Tempest only. Yeah, 1 Tempest only. That's actually sick. Such a good job from herO. He's getting so much out of this. 14 drones going down, and Serel is suffering. Now, that all said, Word count is still going to be okay for Serel. Losing the hatchery is maybe more impactful than anything else right now. A couple of Stalkers continue to come through. The Void Rays overhead as well, going to help to have, push back those Corruptors. That's one of the main things we're going to be aiming to do right here, so definitely something we're looking toward. Corruptors there going to go the other way. Stalkers and the Tempest coming back across. Playing +1 armor all coming through. The Stalker's going to shoot. Corruptor taking some damage. Just about going to escape out of there. Still have the Overlord speed coming up as well. Blink coming through. The armor upgrade coming about. The Sentry's coming around. But this is a cleanup on the Corruptors too. And just can't really feel like... Usually when you kind of play against these builds, the Zerg succeeds when they push this back and they clean up a lot of it, right? And it starts to feel very good for you because you get the clean up and things start to look good and you start loving it. It's obviously just not the case here in the slightest, so... Not ideal, as our Stalker Void Tempest moves toward the upper right-hand side. The Ravager are going to come through, the Queens are going to settle here. And step forward as the Stalkers going to go back around the other way. And again, Robo Facility Gateways all building up. Just going to be seeing the Roach and the Ravager coming through. The Corruptors, of course, spraying down a Nexus. Hey, imagine you're going to get some use out of these boys right here. Love to see that. Nexus will go down. Robotics Facility still building through as the Stalkers get underneath. They go after said Corruptors, chasing them back up to the top left-hand side as the melee upgrade and Roaches and Lings also will continue to come around. Get the armor upgrade going. Tempest there after the Overlord, knocking that down. Roach Ravager still showing up. We're not going to see the Stalker Void. Going to be right there to try and push this Roach Ravager back the other way, and the Roach Ravager does indeed go back the other way. Just for the moment as herO regathers himself. Still Serel on that supply lead. Only 60 drones, no upgrades for Serel yet against 1-1 ground army. Like, I like herO's force. I look at unit tab and I'm like, okay, it's a Roach Ravager Corruptor against someone who's playing like mostly just Stalkers. I mean, to me that's good when those Stalkers have an upgrade lead to play with as well, for sure. Robo Bay and the second Robo Facility coming online. We add an Immortal up. +2 attack upgrade coming about as well. And the Stalkers just peel around over to the right-hand side. So they're just going to step on over in that direction and get a couple of shots off. A couple of creep teamers going down. Roach Ravager will continue to step over as well. And Roach Ravager going to be there. Stalkers get pushed away. +2 attack still coming about. Next is going to get put in place. herO going to work through these rocks that give access to the gold minerals. Something that Serel did not expand towards is those gold mineral lines. Let's get that piling going down. Just going to knock away at these rocks, so we'll take those out. Open up that space around the top side. Stalker Void going to be there, and again, just good defense for the moment, pushing that back, stopping anything else from really happening. Hive on the way through, Bane Nest coming up. We got a couple of Infestors still building as well. Drone laying Bane. Hive coming online for now. Again, a couple of Disruptors building up with the +2 attack upgrade. Not far behind everything else that's currently on the way. The Wilds drop. Stalkers coming through, just going to be seeing this army continue to gather together. A couple of Disruptors will join up. As the Hive is about halfway done, the Ling Roach Ravager will step forward. Disruptor's going to be right there. A couple of Biles coming into place. The Stalker going down. A couple more Biles. Ravagers actually biling themselves. Stood in a couple of the Biles there, I'm pretty sure, some friendly fire. Fourth base of herO in trouble from the Lings, but they pull back and the Nexus goes low, but it will not go down. This may be a concern for the future from herO. Kind of like herO's army, honestly. I still feel like Serel's just missing. Like, if he gets to this Bane speed, melee and Carapace upgrades, etc., you know, that makes this army so much better. But we're not there yet, and herO is already knocking on the front door. That disruptor shot, yeah, flies real close to that army, forces it to step back at an awkward angle and in toward that mineral line as we continue to push through. Just use the disruptors to push units back. That means a ton of time where you're just running here as the Zerg, and a ton of time where the Stalkers are hitting you, but you're not really hitting in return. These Corruptors take out the Tempest. They're going to get the Void Raiders too, but what are the Corruptors going to do about this ground army? Absolutely nada. And that's the issue. If you're not doing anything at all about these Corruptors, about this ground army, that's what's going to be winning herO this game. If Serel can't stop him, more Lings and more Roaches on the way out. I mean, I do like the Lings. I think the Lings getting in on top of these Stalkers could be huge. If we have enough Roach Ravagers still back up the Lings at that point, that is going to be the big question mark, right? Just going to be seeing the Stalker, the Disruptor continue to fire a couple more blinks back. Corruptor's going to turn their attention straight onto the Nexus right there, as you will see the Stalkers and Disruptors pushing up once again, coming straight forward just for the moment. Disruptor shots go bam. We continue to shove it up right now as the Roach is trying to come through again. Drones pulling forward. 5-6 drones going down. The army clearly has not been good enough. The Disruptors have done enough. The Stalkers have held their ground as well. I think the upgrades had a lot to do with this. 2-1 Stalkers have been absolutely beast-like. And then Festa comes in from the left side. That's a cute idea, but also remember that Serral's supply is also caught up in Corruptors, so a lot of what's remaining here is just nothing meaningful at all. herO is going to take Game 6. We're going to get an ace match in the very first match of the day. The Slayers is done for. One of these players is going home. Their tournament ends here in the top 4. They got all the way to Paris for no further purpose. In the top right side, the red Protoss player here is herO, taking on the blue Zerg. In the bottom left, we are going to have Serel. Game 7 of the best of 7. Very exciting. herO, Serel, they've been coming up with some great games, man. Every game really has just been different. We've had such a variety of ways of things playing out and happenings. Been absolutely great so far. herO really finding a lot of opportunities when it's like the last sliver of hope as well. Like that last game is really a case of like, you know, you got to start getting aggressive there because your fourth base is in trouble. The Corruptors will start, you know, spraying down your bases. It was very much so about making use of the army that he had right then and there in that moment, and he did exactly that. He really did come through and do a great job of it, so cool to see. Again, Hatch Pool coming about here, just going to see the drone on the way up, Cyber Core and Nexus building as we go. Just with a couple of nibbles onto the mineral line. Drones take some damage. Not damage, sorry. Drones take some very minor lost mining time here and there. Just some back and forth that you may as well pull off for a little while. Ling is going to go in after our probe. Listen for a little bit. Ling's be coming through. Queen coming up. You see the Adept negotiating about for a little bit there. The Nexus will crank out a Chrono Boost onto some probes. Stargate about halfway done. And yeah, the Adept still shading down to the bottom left-hand side. Going to try and get into position to see a little bit more of what we might be able to get up to. Adept going to be right there. Queen going to fire. Adept is going to shade straight in toward the main mineral line. Try and find some opportunity. Try and get the drone from the high ground is a good idea, but just doesn't really play out. I think speed's not far from finishing up, and you know, Oracle, Warp Gate, the Adept, just a bit of everything. Still coming through for the moment. The Queen's going to be right there, going after the Adept as well. And just get ready to pop down the third base. At least that seems to be the idea. Oracle will be there to protect very shortly, so don't think this is much of an issue. The Adept is not getting home, though. As Serral Hadling's in a good position to play catch. And they will be able to take that Adept down as their prize. Just going to hang on to that Overlord. You see the Adept there, pushing the Lings back the other way. And again, the Stalker and the Oracle just going to be there, pushing the Lings back. Next is about halfway done. The Oracle's halfway through. Gate's still building. And yeah, Lings, Queen, the drones continue to come by. Continue to get that settled in as the drones transfer to the natural. Oracles take the chance to just get rid of a couple more crew teamers. The Adepts down the bottom. Still got the Rotron coming about. Lair building. Drones and Ling are still building through. The next is about to finish. Twilight Council and the Gateways continue to produce. Those Lings still chase about a little bit. Again, Twilight Council and the Gateway is still building. We have the Rotron, the land, the drones building through. It's taking a few moments. It's been a hectic series. There's a few moments of calm. And just little bits and pieces are happening. Gotta savor them because this series has been anything to go by. We're likely going to see more madness coming up soon. See the extra gates from herO going to 5 gates. No Forge just yet. Wondering if that's going to be a sign of just a little bit more kind of, commitment to the Stalkers. Things are in through, gonna try and get a catch on those two Adepts. I was gonna see a couple of drones already going down. Again, Stalker's building up, Blink on the way. Oracle on the left side, just gonna grab a drone for the moment. And try for a second stage sword there. Always fun when you go for the back-to-back. Gets a few drones, Serral's still pretty quick at noticing what's going on. There's that Forge now coming in. So not the fastest of Forges, but we'll get there in the end to start upgrading those Stalkers. Are going to be making up the army for the Blink play in the very near future. Going to drop another creep teamer down. See the Hydra producing. Serel obviously has played the Ling Hydra before in this series already. Scary because if you don't do much here as herO, then Serel starts to feel the freedom to tech up Hive, Lurkaden, and really get those kind of more annoying setups to deal with kind of on the board. herO going to be pushing here, but using the time to set up his future. The +1 charge on the way. The Temple Archives producing behind this as well is going to be an important part of it. Stalker's still hitting the Lings. The Stalker's returning fire. Another stasis down into the front as you just see the Lings setting them up very nicely so far. It's a fantastic job. The stasis ward's really not doing much of anything. So great job by Serel, ensuring that those are not going to be worth the energy investment from the Oracles. Well, the Oracle's going to really do much else, and you still kind of want to have the stasis wards there as a bit of a retreating pathway, but yeah, Serel just negating them as best as he can, giving himself opportunities. It means that running into this army now is a little bit more viable than before. This time a few more of the Lings get caught, but we've got enough Hydras already because we've bought so much time. We will push this army back. The Stalker's chased all the way back down the ramp to the middle of the map. Serel infestation pit behind this, so we talk about the future tech. If you're feeling comfortable, Hive tech, Lurkaden, you get that online, and that's really going to be where Serel wants to aim for in this game. He wants to get that tech online. He wants to feel good about it, and I think he's getting there comfortably at the moment. The stasis wards coming down now very defensively as Serel has successfully pushed all the way across the map. Here's the thing though, right? You push all the way across, you've got to be very confident about this because all it takes is a few steps too far and then you're being chased down by too many Stalkers and then your Hydras can't get home in time and they just die. So you're playing on a very fine line right now as Serel. You're playing a very dangerous game and you do need to be a little cautious, I think, right here just to not end up on, like I say, the wrong side of things. Else trouble really is just right around the corner, basically. So definitely a little bit cause for concern as the Hydras once again find themselves retreating away. Hive and the Lurk Den continues to come up. The +2 missiles coming out. Lings and Overlords producing through. Hatch drops down into that bottom right side. Just going to get that put into place. Zealot Stalker coming about. A couple High Templar joining through. Just going to be seeing the Stalkers joining back together. And again, get the Hive, the Hydra Den. Producing now into Lurkers. It's looking good for Serel in terms of getting to where he wants to be. Now, herO's not in a bad place. He's got Stormers available. He's got Stalkers. He's got Charge. He's got a lot of what he wants. What I don't feel like he has is a lot of the buffer units and the kind of the real tech units that are going to stand a bit stronger against this Lurker count as it grows. I'd love to start seeing some Immortals, right? I'd love to start seeing a couple of Archons as well as just the High Templar that are going to be storming. But right now, I mean, herO comes across the map looking to push, and he ends up kind of whacking his head, his head straight into this army of Serel, Queen Hydra, going to be right there to push these Stalkers back the other way. Now, a couple of Queens do end up going down. Oracle's still overhead. The Stalker's going to be there. The High Templar's underneath as well still. Joining up as we see the Zealots are going to go down the right-hand side and make another little bit of a push. Hydra's attacking, Stalker's dropping. Still got the Hydra Lurker force pushing on forward here, getting a little bit more chasing done. The Zealot's going to get back down to the bottom side of the map, going to go straight onto our hatchery. And yeah, just get back to the Hydras for a couple of moments, getting a little bit more damage done again. Storm onto the Hydras, another good connection, and the Hydras take a whole bunch more damage once more. Fleet Beacon and Stargate all building up, +1 armor upgraded, powder complete. And the Zealots again just once more trying to push on in here as the Lurkers continue to be in position to just chase this back the other direction. Good defense from Serel, and the thing about a good defense is it opens up a good offense, because now herO's not on the map, and that gives Serel the chance to potentially get into good positions with the Lurkers and force herO to fight into preset Lurkers in a bit of a rushed scenario where he feels like he must defend. Because a lot of what's going to start happening now is going to be that Serel sits just outside of a base or between bases. And if herO doesn't defend, he does genuinely end up in trouble. Like, that is a very accurate representation of what is going to end up happening. The Lings and the Hydras coming through. A few of the Zealots still taking damage. You see the Lurkers taking a few more shots. The Lings caught in a stasis as well. And we look to push a little bit further forward right here, as that Nexus once again going to be in a little bit of trouble. The Zealots coming around the bottom side, jumping onto a few of those drones. Lurker pushing, pylon falling, Hydra's killing. This base is in trouble, and I don't think herO's going to make a play to save it. Serel gets himself right across the other side of the map. herO on his way to, Mothership about to pop. Tempest is still building. He's getting the right ideas on board. It's just the quantity of what he's got. This time, oftentimes we say, well, he's got the quantity but not the quality. This time he's got the quality but maybe not the quantity, because he doesn't have what he needs to truly stop this army. He needs a few more Tempests. He needs to be a bit scarier. He needs more Storm available. Like, his Storm availability right now is low. We're going to run into this fight, so he commits in quickly, and it's only going to go well because Serel is still joining up with the rest of the army off the right side. I don't know what's hitting those High Templars still, but we've got to be super careful. High Templar walking into Lurker range. Lurkers are going to start hitting the High Templars, and they are dying, so they're not even going to become Archons. We pop the cloaking from the Mothership. Time Warp comes down as well, and that might just be a saving grace for herO here, as Serel sits out on the front door of herO, still just in front of that base location. +2 attack upgrade still coming up. The extra Tempest on the way in. We add on a few more Hydras. The Spire all continue to come on through. 25 dead probes behind this as well, so herO just loses so much economy, and I think this series may just truly be about to slip away from him. Coming down to this Game 7, this really was anyone's for the take, and the way they've played today, herO's had a lot of good positions. This game, nothing's really clicked. The Stalkers never really got themselves going. I just don't feel like he's been as scary as he's been in some of the earlier games. And I don't think he's going to ever end up, like, in some of the earlier games, he was scary even if he was on the verge of losing. Whereas in this one, I just don't feel like there's anything that's really threatening that army of Serel that's sitting strong, tight, and tidy. I just don't think herO's in a position to deal with this in the slightest, actually. It's looking rough as we are going to see the Stalkers coming up. The Hydra's stepping through the Mothership overhead. herO falls back for a moment too. Serel will disengage. He's splitting some units over to the left-hand side once more. I'll just take a few more shots. Then we see the Zealots coming over. Lurker gets burrowed up. Mothership's going to be right there. So, I mean, herO's going to try and push. Serel's just expecting it. A, he's got a counterattack that's going to, again, guarantee that herO's all in. And B, I was going to say, I feel like he's got enough here to defend. Right now, it's looking a little scary. I mean, with Storms coming down, that army might actually be in a bit of trouble. Storms do drop as we have 1 or 2 Lurkers still kind of holding their ground for the moment. Gets rid of the last Tempest. The Lurkers all gone on this side, though, but there's 19 Hydras on the way. Is that going to be enough? Like I say, Serel is forcing herO to be all in with the unit of commitment on the other side of the map, still finding damage, still finding the opportunity to push herself further ahead. Another Storm on the high ground. Hydra's taking damage again. High Templars still coming through. herO, I mean, you know what? He's found a way to at least, like I say, be scary and competitive towards the tail end. He actually gets a Viper there with the Mothership. Motherships have had some great plays in this series today, and I don't know if it's going to have more. But it's helping, though. This army's still kind of holding tight. Parasitic Bomb, though. Mothership's going to go down. Tempests are probably going to be not comfortable enough. The Parasitic Bomb was kind of nice. Those Hydra Vipers doing their jobs. hero's hanging on for the final moments, but he storms kind of on top of his own army as he morphs in Archons. I think he was just trying to get rid of Lings, but he helped himself to kill his own Tempests. And Serel is a moment or two away. A couple of unit kills away from, I think, herO just saying GG. He's going to fight down to the very last unit he has. But that really was that Archon. Maybe he's got something on the other side. He does not. GG, well played. herO taps out. Serel gets the 4-3 victory, wins this series. herO came so close against Serel in an offline situation. It's been that way so often in herO's career that he's been so close. He's been so capable of taking Serel down. And he just doesn't quite get the dominoes to fall in his favor in the final couple of moments in the final game.